We gather our hearts in the face of hatred. We gather our love in the shadow of fear. We gather our light in the hour of darkness. We gather now, we gather here. We gather now, and we gather here. We stand on our strength in the time of danger. We lift up our song in the presence of tears. We send out our joy in the depths of sorrow. We gather now, we gather here. We gather now, and we gather here. We come together in this time and place. We come together in this kindness and with our grace. We call out for peace in the heat of anger. We step into faith in the midst of despair. We celebrate hope in the heart of sadness. We gather now and everywhere. We gather now, we gather everywhere. We come together in this time and place. We come together in this kindness and with our grace. We gather our hearts in the face of hatred. We gather our love in the shadow of fear. We gather our light in the hour of darkness. We gather now, we gather here. We gather now, and we gather here. We gather now, and we gather here.
So welcome to Unity of Hagerstown. It's so good to see each and every one of you. And welcome to those who are joining us online. We appreciate your support and presence so much. We have a quote here from John O'Donohue, the Irish mystic. May you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder. We're going to begin with our opening song. It can be a song. We can sing our prayer if we want. Our opening prayer. I invite you to join me in this sacred activity. If you're comfortable doing so, and close your eyes, and let's go within that 12-inch journey from our head to our hearts. Becoming still, becoming aware of the presence of God. With each breath we take, with each exhale. And we open our hearts to this moment, to this experience of the divine. We open our minds to learning, to growing, to expanding our thoughts, our awareness. And we open our lives to the presence of God. May we be aware each moment. And when we fall down, we get back up again. We fall down, we get back up again. And so it is. Amen. I invite you to join me in our vision statement Together, Unity of Hagerstown exists to inspire awakening to the divine within and honor the sacred in all. We have an opportunity now to listen to the Daily Word with Ella. The Daily Word is a uplifting, inspirational reading from Unity that comes out every day, either in your inbox or a hard copy, as Ella is reading.
Good morning. Thank you for being here on this rainy day. Today's daily word reading from April 19th is, "The Bible contains many stories that encourage hospitality towards strangers. For instance, Jesus welcomed everyone to his ministry, from the hungry and the sick to strangers and social outcasts. He loved unconditionally. That same loving energy is within me. When I greet others with a friendly smile, I not only am sharing one of the greatest lessons of Jesus, I am expanding my world and giving myself the chance to learn and grow. If I feel hesitant meeting new people, I remember how it felt to be welcomed by friendly people when I was new to a school, job, church, or town. I was grateful for those people who extended themselves in friendship to me. These memories inspire me to be friendly now." And our scripture comes from Matthew 25:35. "For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me." And then I invite you to say the affirmation on the screen with me. I greet others with a friendly and open heart. And just take a moment and think about that. Let that settle into your heart space. Maybe think about a time that you greeted another. And again, I greet others with a friendly and open heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. And now we have an opportunity to put those words into action as we greet one another with a hello, a howdy, a hug, a handshake, whatever is your comfort level. If you prefer not the hug, put your hand out. If you prefer no physical contact, just, you can make it be known. And if you would like to say hello to our worldwide audience online, come over here and just, I can leave the mic here so you can actually say hello. How's that? Okay? So let's take a moment to greet each other. And I do want to say hello to our worldwide audience. We love you. We appreciate you. We're so glad that you're with us. Please put something down in the comment section. You know how you're doing. If you have any prayer requests, Unity is here for you. If you do have a prayer request, never hesitate to reach out to me. We love you.
Hope to see you here sometime soon.
You have to be close. You have to eat the mic. Eat the mic. Eat the mic. It's not listening. There we go.
There we go. Okay. Hello. Hope to see you soon. Hi. Nice to see you. Good morning. What do we do with this now? We'll just leave it here. There we go.
Looking at you is looking at God. Looking at you, looking at me is looking at God. Looking at you is looking at God. Looking at you, looking at me is looking at God. Looking at you, I can see the spirit in your eyes. Looking at you, looking at me is looking at God. looking at you, is looking at God. Looking at you, looking at me, is looking at God. Looking at you, is looking at God. Looking at you, looking at me, is looking at God.
Thank you so much. And if we don't take anything else away from this service, I hope you remember that song. Yes. So, have you seen this photo before? This is of the ocean, and there's only 10% landmass there. You know, we have it in our mind that the land on this beautiful planet covers most of the world, the globe, but that's not so. This is called the Ocean's Hemisphere. It's found in the southern part near New Zealand, but still, it's pretty amazing to picture this big mass of water, nothing but water. There are approximately 352 quintillion gallons of water in the world's ocean. I say ocean because it's really only one ocean, even though we kind of designate different spots to it. And it covers 70% of the Earth's surface. It provides 97% of all water found on this beautiful Earth. And if the salt in the ocean was removed and spread across the landmass, it would form a layer more than 500 feet deep, or the equivalent of like a 40-story office building. That's how much salt is in the ocean. Crazy. The salt comes mainly from rocks on land carried down to the water through rainwater, and also through vents in the ocean's floor. Hydrothermal vents on the seafloor. So the deepest known part of the ocean is the Mariana Trench, and it is about 7 miles deep. However, only 10% of the ocean has been mapped out, so we don't really know. We don't know what's out there. There are, let's see, of course, the Pacific Ocean is the largest one that we designate, and it covers about 30% of the Earth's surface. The longest mountain range in the world is found underwater, the Mid-Oceanic Ridge. And did you know that oceans trap or absorb 90% of the heat from greenhouse gases? And it holds 35%, over a third of the climate solutions we could use to help the environment, from offshore clean energy to sustainable seafood to protecting and restoring the coastal ecosystems. Additionally, I'm going to move on just because these slides are so beautiful, I think. 50% of the oxygen in our air comes from photosynthesis from the ocean. 50%, my friends. Shout out to phytoplankton on that. The Earth would be about 65 degrees hotter without the ocean. The ocean absorbs 30%, more or less, of the carbon dioxide that we emit. So you're maybe wondering why I'm bringing all of this up. Well, not only is Earth Day coming up, it's right around the corner, midweek this year, but it's also, for me, an invitation to move into amazement and awe at this. As we continue our exploration of living a mystical life is one that experiences the divine. And so we're all mystics here. We've all experienced that peace within, or the peace from a sunset, a life where we are open to that presence of the sacred in our lives, no matter what we are doing or where we are. So just to review, this is from Ordinary Mysticism by Mirabai Starr. We have set our intention to walk as mystics, in other words, to experience God in our life, on the lookout for the wellspring of meaning streaming from the heart of our most difficult or seemingly trivial daily experience. We have cultivated contemplative contemplative gaze, become willing to be with things as they are. Now we open ourselves to wonder. We've set our attention. We are looking not only in our day-to-day lives, but we can look abroad to nature as well, to be open. So the beginning of that openness, that wonder, that sense of awe, is really to see things with fresh eyes, a new perspective, to become as a child, not childish, but childlike, as our elder brother says. Or in Buddhism, it's to cultivate a beginner's mind. The Jewish philosopher Abraham Heschel tells us, our goal should be to live in radical amazement, to get up in the morning and look at the world in a way that takes nothing for granted. Everything is phenomenal. Everything is incredible. Never treat life casually. To be spiritual is to be amazed. I love that quote. Oh. So as Earth Day comes near, really this is Earth Month, but Earth Day is a way that we can kind of invite our souls to practice this radical amazement for this wonderful planet, to feel the sacred mystery of deep waters, to dance with joy like waves on the shore. We have a built-in capacity for amazement within each of us, within our hearts. Now, maybe we've walled it off, but we can unwall it. We can tear down those walls, those defenses. We can lean into amazement, particularly when it comes to nature. It's fairly easy to do. But really, the opportunity is to bring it into all facets of our life. The early 20th century Sufi teacher Hazrat Khan states that there is only one holy book, the sacred manuscript of nature. Whether we're walking along the C&O or looking down at the valley from Annapolis Rocks, we may feel those moments of clarity, those moments of peace, and we understand that life is good, that there is order in the universe, that there is a presence that permeates it all. And as we bring our attention to that very moment and really take it in, amazement follows. And then something wonderful can happen. Mirabai Starr, as you allow the grandeur of the world to break through your habitual perceptions, your appreciation for the rest of creation grows more personal. You begin to envision the earth as a beloved relative and nurture an intimate relationship with her, our Mother Earth. Curiosity dissolves fear. So that intimate relationship that we can cultivate with nature, with Mother Earth, we can also begin to see within each other. We can change our perspective with each other, see each other as a new light, in a new light, seeing no separation whatsoever. Curiosity dissolves fear that we may have of the other. Fear, as we become curious about each other, we open our hearts, we open our minds to each other, and then we can recognize the Spirit expressing through them. Gregory Boyle tells us that the mystic's eyewear brings into focus the hidden wholeness in everyone. Then our lives become living reminders that we are all made for loving, and the true measure of our love is to love without measure. Yes. Meister Eckhart is probably one of the world's history's more famous mystics. Born in 1260, he entered into the Dominican order and became a teacher, a prior, and a lecturer. He was appointed vicar general of all Bohemia, and later he went to Paris and became a professor, and he remained there the rest of his life. Wait a second, my pages are out of order. Here we go. So, hopefully everything else is right. So, It was life itself that Eckhart liked to talk about that amazed him. He would go on about the life of the lilies, the life of the sky, the life of the fields, the wonders of the human heart. It was probable that he raised eyebrows back in those days, talking this way, but that didn't stop him. He tells us, is it not a holy trinity, the firmament, the earth, and our bodies? And is it not an act of worship to hold a child and till the soil and lift a cup? Everything is an opportunity to recognize the sacred. Eckhart preached relentlessly to give the ordinary people some of the experience and understanding of God that had really been reserved to the theologians and the priests. He spoke of how humanity could experience unity with God through a connection in the depths of the soul, which he called a spark. He writes, "Someday you will hear all things applaud your wonder. Life claps in awe of the divine performance. When your veil is removed, you, dear you, everyone, will see that your being is holy." When we can turn that radical amazement that we may experience in nature to ourselves and know that we are wondrously made, that we are not broken, that we were born with original blessing, we move into that mystical life. Exploring the mystical isn't about aiming for the beyond the body sensations. It's about merging with life itself, Christian Sorensen tells us. So just as we can enter the mystic through appreciation and wonder of nature, through all creation, we can also enter that mystical experience through our own creating. We are one with the source of all creativity and are made to create. Through art, through words, through music, we're invited to touch that still point within and connect, consciously connect with the presence. Now, everyone has something with which their creativity comes through. It may be computer programming, it may be problem solving, it may be cooking, it may be knitting. It doesn't matter. It's a time when you feel timeless, beyond time. We're in the zone, fulfilling a purpose, and then an invitation comes without our even knowing of it to something that is bigger than ourselves. I read once that composer Leonard Bernstein writing about the creative process in light of making connections. He says, "I sit for long nights all by myself and don't have a thought in my head. I'm dry, I'm blocked, or so it seems. I sit at the piano and just improvise, strum some chords or try to seek a sequence of notes, and then suddenly I find one that hits, that suggests something else. The whole point of composing, you see, is not to find one chord or one note you love. It's only when they progress to another chord, another note, that you have meaning." He goes on to comment how this making of connection occurs. The mind, where all this creativity takes place, is a complicated piece of circuitry of electronic threads, all of which are connected at some point and are informational. And every once in a while, there's sort of like a short circuit, his words, not mine. Two of those threads will cross, and an idea is set off. And Bernstein says, this is the most exciting moment that can happen in an artist's life. And every time it happens, those two strands will come together, a spark will fly, and I'll be off, sailing, my ego gone. I won't know my name. I won't know what time it is. Then I'm a composer. And I would add, then he is a mystic, beyond time. Matthew Fox often tells his students when they ask, where did the time go by? He tells them that they had just had a mystical experience. Bernstein names that experience quite clearly, when he says, creativity becomes the place where the divine and the human meet. Ultimately, my friends, we are all creating all the time through our thoughts and our beliefs. This is what unity teaches. This is the third principle of unity. Our thoughts that we're holding in mind, those beliefs that we're holding, are creating our life's experience. Ernest Holmes tells us we are surrounded by an intelligent force and substance from which all things come. It is around us in its original state, ready and willing to take form through the impulse of our creative belief. We are creating our life's experience. So we have the invitation to go into nature as if it were a cathedral, to recognize that art and music and dance and cooking and mountains and canyons and oceans invite us to dissolve into beauty until there is no me left. There is only that presence, that one. So I'm going to invite you to affirm with me the following. Together, I experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder. We're going to move into a time of meditation. It will be a guided meditation followed by a period of silence. So go ahead and adjust your position if needed and to get more comfortable. And I invite you to close your eyes if you like, or gaze softly on the ground in front of you. This is so we don't get distracted. We begin by preparing ourselves, relaxing the body, calming the thoughts, maybe doing a body scan from head to toe, and just allowing any area of stress or tension to relax, sending your breath to that area. And as we continue to relax, I invite you to focus on your heart space. That seed of love, of wonder, of awe. Let us see not only this day as a sacred gift, woven around the heart of wonder, but this life, this very moment, this being that we are, a sacred gift, allowing our hearts to open to the awesomeness of our spiritual nature. We are connected to the source of all creativity, the source of all love. Love flows through us as us. Life flows through us as us. As we let any walls that we may have built over time around our heart to protect our tender, gentle heart, see if we can allow them to come down, so those walls to come down, as we behold the beauty within, that connection, that presence of God within, our higher self, our true self. In the silence, in the silence. wondrously made, held perfect in divine mind. As we bring our time of meditation to a close, I invite you to allow your hearts to bubble forth with gratitude for this moment, this life, this community. And so it is. And you can either join us in our next song or sit quietly and allow it to wash over you. Goes on quite a while. Okay, so I invite you to join me in our offertory affirmation. I give joyfully to my beloved community to support our mission of creating sacred space that empowers spiritual growth and ignites compassionate action. I release any fear of not enough and have faith that God is the source of our prosperity. Amen. If I could have the Unity Singers come back up with our next song, and anybody actually who wants to come up and sing and help lead, they're not going to be on camera. Sorry, camera.
There is just one presence, there is just one light, shining in the world like a beacon in the night. There is just one power we all can share, one great power everywhere. One great power, one great love, big as the ocean and the skies up above. One great spirit waiting in prayer, one great power everywhere. There is one great power everywhere. There is just one purpose, there is just one spark, burning in our souls like a candle in the dark. There is just one chorus we all can sing, with one great power let it rain. One great power, one great love, big as the ocean and the skies up above. One great spirit waiting in prayer, one great power everywhere. There is one great power everywhere. One great power, 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 one great power everywhere. There is just one presence, there is just one light, shining in the world like a beacon in the night. There is just one power we all can share, one great power everywhere. One great power, one great love, big as the ocean and the skies up above. One great spirit waiting in prayer, one great power everywhere. There is one great power everywhere. One great power everywhere.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. And, you know, I asked these people to come without, up here, our Unity singers, without any prior notice, and they did a great job helping us lead and feel more comfortable in singing. Did that help? Yes. Okay, good. Okay, good. Yes. So next week, our musicians, Brent and Patty, come back, and we'll welcome them. So we have a few announcements, my friends. So Monday yoga, Wednesday the 6th of May is our sound bath, 6 p.m. It's $25 admission. Our soup kitchen is happening. We have a sign-up sheet. Dave, can you start passing those sign-up sheets around? Thanks. And there is no Help Unity Grow on the first Sunday in May because someone's taken off. Okay. And then our interfaith service, which is through HARC, is happening today at 5 p.m. at Christ Reformed United Church of Christ, 130 West Franklin. This is going to be a wonderful service. It's a call for our shared humanity, a direct response from for the ICE detention center facility that is on hold now, but you know, just what is our responsibility here for the faith community. And then Prosperity Workshop is happening on May 3rd, and we have a guest speaker who's going to be here as well, Elizabeth Gesner. Yeah, thank you. Gesner, I had to stop and think. But there are flyers for the workshop. She comes very highly recommended, my friends. I hope you come out and support her and support Unity with your presence that day. And then our book discussion, Ordinary Mysticism, and pizza, because, you know, why wouldn't we do that, right? It's happening, it's happening every other week. The next one is next Sunday at 6 p.m. We had a great discussion. We're only covering 2 chapters each time. So if you want to come to this gathering, it would be chapters 3 and 4. If you don't have the book, you can still come because we're talking about things we already know, okay? So don't let that stop you from attending. And then we have a sign-up sheet for anybody who wants to have a prayer partner. And let me tell you, I've had a prayer partner for years. It's a wonderful way to feel the support and love and also to shift our perspective. That's what prayer is all about, is to change the way we look at things, to how we see things. It's not to change God's mind. Oh no, my friends. It is to change our mind. And then we have our plants and cookies sale that's happening. We already have collected like 80 plants so far. And we have sign up for people who want to bring in cookies, and you can bring them in the Sunday before. You can drop them off at my house or bring them the day of the event early. It's on the first Saturday of May at Kelly Moore Sheds. They're having a big festival there. We are one of the vendors, many vendors that will be there. We still need 2 people to sign up for the afternoon coverage of that day. It's really fun. You just you talk to people, basically. So if you like talking to people, I encourage you to come and sell plants. And then I think that's it. And at this point, we're going to say goodbye to our online friends. We love you. We appreciate who you are and your being here. Thank you, and just keep shining that light.